Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second game of tonight's RSHL action. We have here Kick You Apart at Short-Handed. I think this is going to be a pretty exciting match. What's your take on it, King? Interesting thoughts. Well, I think that this being Thrill here, King will be back with us shortly, maybe. I guess I caught him off guard. But I think that Kick You Apart probably has a little bit of advantage in this matchup on paper, but Shorthanded has played pretty well this season, I think better than people expected. I know in their last game they came very close to beating Interference, had a little bit of a meltdown in the third period that prevented that from happening, but it looked like they were going to win that game. And Shorthanded has kind of shown that they're definitely a solid mid-tier team that can compete and stay competitive with some of the better teams in the league. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
I agree.
Looks like Kick You Apart does not have an abundance of players here, to be honest. I'm not sure if they have 6 people. Right now it looks like 5 from their C roster command. Shorthanded, on the other hand, has been preparing and scrimmaging for the match for at least a couple of hours, so yeah, they're definitely showing up to play here tonight. Wasn't sure whether or not they were going to continue to play Crystalline and Net over African Panda, given the results of their last game, but it looks like they're going to stick with her in Net. I think African Panda would, aka Curly Pubes, would probably be a better choice, but this could work out for them, I guess.
Yeah, I think they'd be better off with Curly in that. But also, I think if Kick You Apart shows a full lineup, I think this game is going to overtime.
Well, we certainly have had plenty of overtime games in this season, but Kick You Apart still does not even have a full lineup of 6 players right now, so Shorthanded might be able to get a big win here. And whether or not Kick You Apart is shorthanded against Shorthanded, that would be unfortunate, but that would be a really big win shorthanded and would actually go a pretty long way towards securing their spot in the standings. Right now for Shorthanded, it looks like we have Flu and the Weasel, Bop and Meertrix playing Spider Interior.
I'm actually kind of surprised at how well Shorthanded is playing this season. It seems like Bopman is really has really turned this team around from last year.
Alright, so apparently a couple of players from Kick You Apart are lagging. And this might end up being a short match, or at least not as competitive of a match as we hope for if they're not able to get that settled down. I'm curious if they fix, even if they fix the lag issues, I'm not sure who's going to play goalie. Now here comes Jug. It looks like Jug is probably going to play goalie for them if he's able to fix his lag. I'm going to assume he's one of the players that's lagging. And it looks like they have exactly 6 players online. And since there are a couple players lagging, it looks like Londorf's going to play Terrier. I'm guessing that Londorf would feel uncomfortable playing Weasel if they end up having to play a man down due to lag or any kind of issues like that. And I think that's probably why he's in the Terrier.
Yeah, that and they probably don't have their defender, whoever that is.
No, they have Cookie Wolf, Blah, and Meow Mix, and they kind of rotate around there. So that's definitely their regular lineup as far as their defense goes. Um, this is actually pretty much, for the most part, their regular lineup. So I'm guessing that Longdorf is just afraid they're going to end up playing with 5, and he just really doesn't want to play a Weasel with 5 people, which is pretty understandable, I think.
Wait, so Bicycle is Meow Mix?
Yes, Bicycle Skeleton is Meow Mix.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know that.
And it is 10:15, so I'm assuming this match is going to get underway pretty soon. Technically, it should have been started. I guess they're just waiting for Kick You Apart's lag to settle down. Jug has lagged out again. Now is able to make it back into the match, but that's not good as the player who's playing goalie too, because if he lags out in the middle of a match, it's basically free goals.
Right off the bat, I'm not liking Shorthanded's lineup. I mean, it's a good lineup, except I would put Curly in Warbird or Net, and
Yeah,
I don't see him in. So yeah.
yeah, and I'm not sure why that is. I think whether he's playing offense or he's playing goalie, he's probably one of the better options for Shorthanded's team. So I don't know if they're undervaluing him or if he's just not in this period because he was not present. But I know he's been in here scrimmaging a little bit with them. So I'm really surprised not to see him in net. I mean, it would be less shocking to me if he was at least playing the offense or something like that. But seeing as he's not in the game on offense, I'm really surprised that he's not at least playing in the net for Crystalline.
Yeah, plus they don't have a Warbird out there. It's a pretty good offensive ship.
Well, we've talked about this some with other commentators and other players, but Warbird's kind of a situational ship. You don't necessarily need one every single time, but definitely could help in specific situations. If you're a team that wants some more offense, definitely not a bad ship to have in. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how this turns out. I mean, this sort of lineup for Shorthanded has worked out for them pretty well so far this season, so I guess you can't really knock them for staying with it. But
Yeah, that, and they might just be rotating the level 1 ships. So they might just rotate Curly for Flu next period. So, they might be scared to use 2 L1 ships.
maybe, I don't think so, because I've seen them use lots of Double Weasel in the past, and I actually don't expect Flu to sit out that much from what I've seen of Shorthanded's previous games.
We'll see how it affects them.
Oh, and actually, it looks like Curly Pubes is going to replace Crystalline. I'm not sure if that's just because he became present or if maybe Shorthanded captains felt pressured by the audience.
It's because of me, man. It's because of me.
Audience pressuring Shorthanded to give Curly Pubes the start, and it looks like that's going to happen. I really like this decision. He's honestly a much stronger goaltender than Crystalline is. I mean, you don't want to be too critical, but if you watch their last match, you got to say that Shorthanded basically had almost won the match against Interference, and a couple of really soft goals allowed by Crystalline kind of ruined that. And no, it looks like Crystalline just lagged out, and he's going to spec and let Crystalline back in. So, never mind,
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
not
just the
liking
lag
this.
out, and I'm going to have to take back my compliment to the decision of shorthanded captains because that's not what they were doing at all.
Yeah, I'd like to see Curly and Sting over on defense and net, but I guess not.
I don't know. We'll see if this pays out for them. It might not end up being an issue with the lag that Kick You Apart had. Still surprised to see this game not starting. Still being very generous here to Kick You Apart with the lag issues. Because it's almost 20 after. And it looks like the match is finally going to start. And Meow Mix is going to be stepping up in net because Jug is lagging out. So it looks like VNV Nation is here. I guess Londorf probably contacted him on Steam or something of the like. And it looks like they are going to be playing a man down, though.
I don't know. I think Cookie Wolf is good enough to handle the defense on his own, especially against a team that's not really an offensive powerhouse. So I think he'll be fine on defense, even with the 5 players.
We'll see. The issue isn't necessarily how well you're going to play defensively as much as how are you going to generate offense and be able to control the puck. I think that's going to be the big issue with being a man down. But
Yeah,
we'll see how it affects them.
Yeah, they just gotta hold them off, I think, until one of their players shows, or once they get rid of their lag.
I do like Longdorf's decision to play Terrier instead of Weasel, knowing that they might be a man down. Playing Weasel when you're a man down is really not the funnest thing in the world, because Weasel, of course, you need to have openings, and if they have an extra man to just guard you all the time, it's not going to happen. Plus, it's just nice to have that extra checking ability in there. And Kick You Apart actually in the offensive zone right now, cycling the puck a little bit.
Looks like they have 6 now, too.
Yep, Jug has come into the game. And Longdorf going to pass the blob. Pooter89 intercepts. But of course, you got to keep in mind, Jug might lag out at any time. That's why he's not playing goalie. So he has been having some issues. Puck drifts back to Crystalline. And now Botmem's going to come up the ice with Pooter, passing up to Flu. A little bit of open space. Puck cycling from shorthanded. Botmem, drop pass to Pooter. And Pooter's going to try to pass down across the crease to Flu, who misses the puck. That pass didn't quite connect. And Christmas in full swing. Christmas in July for Kick You Apart. 3 Terriers and 2 Spiders right now. Blah tries to lunge, but is unable to connect. But missed pass from Flu enables them to get a check and a turnover. And let's see if Kick You Apart's able to cycle the puck here. This is what they like to do. They like to set up and cycle the puck and keep control of the game.
They had a lag out, looks like.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was Jug. And they'll need to watch that, because it looks like he's playing defensive mid, or at least midish when he came in. So they want to be careful to keep tabs on that.
Yeah, they should have him play mid and have either Cookie or whoever play defense, or back him up.
As
in case he lags out.
At the rate that he's been lagging out, honestly, I would probably just play like I had 5 anyway, even when he's in the game. That would probably be the safest way to do it. But honestly, they're still doing a good job keeping a decent amount of the puck possession, even though they're a man down. So far, it has not come into play too much. Botmem passes to Mirtrix, intercepted by Londor. And now Sting with the puck. Shorthanded, just going to cycle around. And this will be a really big win. I said this before, but I can't stress how big of a win this will be. If you're a team that's around the mid-tier and you definitely want to solidify your playoff spot, then getting a win against a higher-tier team like Kick You Apart is a very good victory, because, of course, that means you have a higher opportunity of continuing to increase your wins against some of the easier opponents and really start pulling away. And Bob gets some open space pass to Pooter. I think that might have been a crease.
I'm going to say that was crease as well, yeah.
It's a pretty good opportunity by shorthanded. The referee frequency looks pretty split at the moment.
Uh-oh.
There's a little bit of deliberation on the ref rack.
If they call this clean, this is going to be a bad call.
We'll see. I mean, it's not like it was extremely obvious. It was close. I do think it was crease. I thought it was pretty clear that it was crease, but it wasn't like he shot. It wasn't like it would be ridiculous, I guess, if they called it clean. You can make an argument for it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they call it crease. That's a good call.
Yeah, they call it crease. It might have been one of those 50-50 calls. It was there was some deliberation on the ref rec, but it will be called a crease. But a good opportunity from shorthanded, though. They get the first shot of the game about 4.5 minutes into the game. And flew with a missed pass again. And shorthanded, going to try to get some puck cycle going here, hopefully. Bob threads a pass to Flew. Bob 2-0.
Oh, nice shot.
Top, and Bob scores.
It's funny, I was just going to say that shorthanded needs more speed in their lineup, but guess not.
Well, the two Terriers are reasonably fast. Terriers are a pretty fast ship. And the kick you apart, there's just a lot of space there. And then the defenders also got pulled out of the way by the movement. Some slick movement by Bob there that basically enabled shorthanded to get a 2-0. And Bob made a fading shot to the top post, and the goalie had committed bottom because he wasn't sure where the play was going. So shorthanded takes a 1-0 lead here in the first period.
What's the significance of kick you apart having 5 players? And I forgot about the rules and stuff. Is it where if they go down 2 goals they lose, or how does it work?
Basically, it's like a full-strength game, except you're basically missing a player. So it's not going to be a mercy unless they go up by 10 goals. That's only if you're down to 4 players. So the only real significance is you're at a disadvantage in terms of gameplay.
Well, okay, so it's the same. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It's basically the rules and the layout of the game is just like 6-on-6. It's just you have 1 less player. And Laundry for the breakaway here with a fade.
Oh, what a shot.
Ties it up. And it's a good individual effort by Longworth. But really fooled Crystalline with that fade. I'm going to be honest, I feel like African Panda Curly Pubes would have saved that, but
I was just about to say that.
But a nice fade from Longworth. I know that's one thing he's going to like about the Terrier is he's been complaining about the lack of power the fade has in the new settings, and he's been playing Weasel. And with that switch to Terrier, maybe seeing how much better the fade is with the Terrier. Really able to abuse that there to get the puck in past Crystalline.
Yeah, this is a pretty even game. This is it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, to be honest, even with the man down, kick you apart definitely seems to still be pretty competitive with shorthanded. So unless shorthanded starts puck cycling more and getting their stuff together, you got to say this is not a good sign for them if kick you apart is able to continue to hang so well with a man disadvantage. Longworth passes to VMV Nation. And kick you apart just going to try to control the puck here. And Longworth to Blanc, back to Longworth, and he's going to take another shot, but Crystalline saves this one. Didn't have much of an angle there anyway. Plenty of shorthanded defenders in the way. And Bombim has a lot of space. Ends up getting checked off by Longworth, who's honestly all over the place. He's been making lots of checks and plays on both ends of the ice. To be honest, if you're going to play a man down, playing a system-based puck cycle game like Kick You Apart tries to do is honestly the style you want to do that with. And Bobman with the ball kill, but he didn't pick up the puck and wasn't able to capitalize off of that opportunity. And turnover there. Flew might try a snipe here to the top post.
Nice try there.
Saved by Meowmix. And 3 shots to 2 right now. As we said before, pretty even. About 4 minutes left in this period. And shorthanded will try to mount another attack. Another missed pass by Flew. I gotta be honest, he's missed a lot of those passes so far this period. Some good checking by shorthanded enables them to retain possession of the puck. Botman's going to slow things down here. Runs into the post, and it looks like he's going to shoot it out of the back of his ship. Ends up coming back to the blue line, but a good check by Pooter. They're able to keep this alive. Pooter tries to go south to Flew. Intercepted by Kikyo Park defense. Mirror Tricks tries to tap that over to Bop. And another good check by Pooter. Shorthanded doing a really good job on the forecheck right now. Mirror Tricks wanted to cross that down to Bop. It gets checked off by Blah just in time. Shorthanded, finally starting to pass around a little bit more and take advantage of having that man, that extra man. Crystalline passes it to empty space. Sting comes away with it. And Bop is going to try to make something happen here. Has the space, passes back to Pooter, back to Bop, going back and forth. Pooter with the ball kill, and Flew almost got a shot off there, but good defensive effort by Blah to make sure that they're able to keep the game tight. And now Lonsworth coming the other way to Ron Nation, VNV Nation, but not able to get anything out of that opportunity. And Blah checks off Flew and passes the puck back to the goalie, Bicycle Skeleton. And Pooter with another good forecheck. It's been violating them so far. And Botman.
Goalie hit increase.
And that was basically a ball kill attempt. I'm not sure what that was. And kick you apart. Some open space here. And lag pass will be the end of that play.
Pretty impressive how Kick You Apart is managing to keep this game tied.
Yeah, and shorthanded took a little bit more advantage of the open space than they did in the second half than they did in the first half of that period, but still Kick You Apart keeping it really even and being pretty competitive, and they could still come away with the victory here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that shorthanded should get Curly and Warbird here. They should keep Chris in net, have Sting play defense, and by having Curly and Warbird, they can have more speed and they can really take advantage of that one man.
Well, that is the one thing.
Extra man.
Yeah, that is the one thing about the Warbird too, is it's kind of weak against a team that's clustering a lot. But if you have a man down, there is more open space for the Warbird to work with. So that would be useful for them. You got to think that he's probably not going to substitute in for Crystalline and that most teams do not change goalies in the middle of a game unless they're just letting their goalie play offense because they're so far ahead.
Yeah, I would definitely sub in a Warbird here. He's a pretty good Warbird, actually defensively as well. So they really don't lose anything on that side of field.
Warbird is actually one of the better defensive ships in the game, despite kind of what popular belief, or at least what common sense might say.
Yeah.
Just if you're able to position well, having that speed advantage and being in the passing lanes and being able to sit on top of a ship, very useful for a defender.
Looks like they got Curly in. They listened to us.
And we'll see if Kikuyu Park gets a 6 then. I see the 7th-year itch. 7-year itch. Let's see if he's here.
Yeah, it looks like he's active.
It looks like he is lagged. He cannot get into the game. Very unfortunate for Kikuyu Park, but well, we'll see. I mean, honestly, even with 5 players, the game is still even, so shorthanded is probably going to want Kikuyu Park to remain at 5 players because you're not sure how much of an impact the 6 player is going to have for Kikuyu Park.
I'm going to say that shorthanded has a good period here, and they take the lead after this period.
And right now, it looks like Curly Pube's going to try to abuse some of his speed in that Warbird. 4 shots to 3. For those of you just joining us, shorthanded and Kikuyu Park tied at 1-1, but we'll see for how long as Kikuyu Park is playing shorthanded against shorthanded. And Blah comes away with a defensive play there. A little bit of lag going on. Players complaining about that in the game. Cookie Wolf bounces it off the wall to Longdwarf. And checked off by Pooter, who's really been brutalizing Kikuyu Park with his forecheck.
Yeah, he's playing well.
Puck will end up with Kikuyu Park's goalie. And here comes V&V Nation. And Pooter with a huge check passes up. Nothing comes of that offensive opportunity, but they're at least able to retain possession. And Pooter able to keep the puck there, tried to ball kill. Did not get the ball kill, but still kept the puck. And Bop, shorthanded, doing a really good job utilizing the open space now.
Looks like this 7-year itch is working on getting his lag down.
Yeah, and it's a shame he's lagging too much to play right now, to be honest, because I know he's an old veteran. He hasn't been able to show to that many matches or play a lot of Hockey Zone recently. So the fact that he was shown tonight and isn't able to play because of lag is kind of unfortunate. And Longdwarf might have a shot here. And honestly, if it was not for good positioning... Oh, wait here. Crystalline almost passed to Longdwarf and gave it an open net. Honestly, 2 good defensive plays by Curly Pubes, kind of bailing shorthanded out there.
In my opinion, he's actually the best defensive Warbird in the league. He's been doing that time and time.
Yeah, I do think that they might have scored a goal there on the original play if he was not guarding the top post, and then Crystalline coughed it up for that open net opportunity, but he got back in the way again. So, very good job defensively by Curly Pubes. shorthanded cycling the puck around now. And they're really going to want to score a goal pretty soon, because the longer it takes them to score a goal, might be more of an opportunity for Kicking Apart to find a sixth player. And if they find a sixth player, the match might not end favorably for them, since the game is so even thus far, being 6 against 5. Pooter tries a ball kill there. Does not work out for them. Killed off by Longdorf. And some decent checking by Kick You Apart there. And Longdorf going to try to make something happen. Being patient with it. Cycles back to Cookie Wolf. Very intelligent play by Longdorf. Absorbs the bullet, but he can't absorb the bullet from Bop, so gets killed off there. And Curly Pews passes back to Sting. And shorthanded should really try to play a very slow-paced game. Make sure they keep possession of the puck. Wait for the opportunity. Because Kick You Apart's definitely playing responsible defense, so if they stay in really good positioning, honestly, being a man down doesn't make a huge difference. They're able to stave off that attack. And Longdorf was really everywhere in the first period. Had 20 steals, 17 turnovers, 47 puck carries, all this just in the first period. So kind of being all over the place and doing what his team needs him to do, being a man down.
Yeah, Pooter's playing well as well. He has like 25 steals.
And a nice fade attempt by African Panda. What he's going for there, but so did the defender. Able to stop that opportunity. When Curly Pubes tries to pass it back. Misses his teammate, but they'll at least retain possession of the puck, so no harm done there. And now they're right here in the middle of the ice. So that's going to be a good opportunity. Curly Pubes not able to make anything happen there. Blah with the puck. Coming into the neutral zone. And some good cycling by Kick You Apart on this possession. You're gonna want to keep that going on, being a man down. Looks like a tank from Pooter there, to be honest. It's gonna keep them from keeping possession there. A little unfortunate. Mirtrix tried to slap shot it out to keep possession there, but was intercepted by the Kick You Apart defense. And honestly, I mean, there have been some moments when shorthanded's been cycling the puck pretty well, but for the most part, this really hasn't seemed that much different from what a regular full-strength game would look like.
Yeah, I thought the addition of Curly and Warbird would change things up, but it's pretty much the same right now.
Let's see if they're able to get anything going here. And Bob with some open space with the ball kill, but a Bicycle Skeleton was in position. That was probably shorthanded's best chance for a goal so far this period, but... And Bob almost with an open net, but checked off by Longdorf. Doing a great job so far. But African Panda getting another steal, and they'll come back now. So shorthanded putting the pressure on in the last 30 seconds. They really want to push forward for this goal. I gotta say, it's smart to try to pressure. And Curly Pubes trying to work the outside. Play slowing down a little bit. And Bot Mem to Mirtrix. Checked off by Blah. VMV ejects that to Longdorf. Now Blah with the puck. Ball kill. Enables Longdorf to pick up the puck. And Kick You Apart cycling again, and this is something that they do well in their game. Very smart play. And Blah tried to get some open space to get it up to Longdorf, but pooped on picked off by Pooter at the last second. And African Panda trying to find some space. They have numbers here. Pooter crosses down to Bop. Bop tried to pass it right back, a little flash pass going on, but timed it just a little bit incorrectly and did not release that at the proper moment. Ended up delaying. And now Kick You Apart is able to take possession and reset the play a little bit. Right now, 6 shots to 3. So Shorthanded has twice the shots to Kick You Apart, but with such a low number of shots. Wade Blah with a breakaway. Tried to sweep bottom, but Crystalline did not give him the opening there. And some nice opportunity by Longdorf here trying to pass to Jug, but Jug was not able to get to the puck and shoot at the net. So with Jug in the game, of course, Kick You Apart is full strength, but he has been lagging pretty consistently tonight, so we'll see if he's able to stay in the game. Botman to Pooter. Bop with a nice shot off the post.
Nice try there.
Wait, it looks like Ron Nation has lagged out. I saw him lag out and he got back in, and it looks like he is lagged out again. No, he is back in the net, so back in the game at least, not the net. Hope he's not in the net. So this is full strength for the moment, but with the lag issues that Kick You Apart has had, we'll see how long that stays. It looked like that might be a nice opportunity for Shorthanded, but a nice check by Longdorf. Sting bringing the puck up the ice. Shorthanded trying to cycle the puck around. Botman bringing it up. And a little bit of a cluster in front of the net. Shorthanded comes away with it. But nice checking by Longdorf enables Kick You Apart to get the puck. Now a cluster on the other end. And a check by Crystalline finally finishes that off. And an errant pass by Mirtrix enables Kick You Apart to get possession of the puck back. And wow, huge spike by Ron Nation. Dodged that pass pretty well. Longdorf raging in the chat about giving away free turnovers. I don't know if he's really raging. Probably not. And Jug with a big spike. Maybe distracting the players here. Pooter to African Panda. Decided to take a shot there. Really didn't have an angle. Just wanted to put some pressure on. Definitely didn't have much of a chance there. And Longdorf trying to take on the goalie. Shot bottom just wide. And he had a little bit of space there and almost was able to get his second goal of the night to take the lead. That would have been huge for Kick You Apart. Botman slowing the puck down a little bit to end the period. And so that's the end of the second period. No goals in that period, so 1-1 still. Shorthanded has 7 shots to 3, although Kick You Apart had those last couple shots that missed the goal that did not register. So honestly, pretty even game. Kick You Apart still having some lag issues, but even when they had full strength, you couldn't really tell that much of a difference in the game. It's like pretty much the same. And pretty even. A Shorthanded has a slight advantage in shots, but
yeah, I'm actually surprised Shorthanded wasn't able to score a goal that period with the, adding more speed and being up one guy. But
I think
that's just how good Kick You Apart is.
I think that they did do better utilizing the extra man in that period. They did have a lot more puck time. But like I was saying, if you're going to play down a man, the system that Kick You Apart uses is a good system to be using. And being able to use that strategy effectively makes it not so big of a deal to be a man down, as much at least as if you're another team that's not used to playing that style or is based a little bit more on offensive play or individual talent play. Whereas Kick You Apart is kind of all about puck cycling, about playing a team based system. They definitely collapse pretty well on the defensive end. So as long as one of their players, doesn't get caught out of position or caught being irresponsible, then they should be fine. And it looks like Jug is going to go into the net for Kick You Apart, so he must be pretty confident he has fixed his lag. I do not see Ron Nation, though, so he might have some lag issues. I did see the 7-year itch just enter the arena. He's going to try to get into the game. We'll see if he's still too lag. And it looks like he might be, and we might be back to being a man down for Kick You Apart. As soon as they get Jug back into the game, now they can't get VMV Nation into the game.
Has any team won an RSHL game with being down a man?
Yes, they have, and ironically enough, when I was on Phasers, we actually defeated Money Inc. Being shorthanded, 5 players against 6, and I believe the season 14. So kind of ironic since, of course, a lot of those players are actually in the matchup for Kick You Apart in this game. But so this has been done before. It's not unprecedented. And 7-year itch does get into the game. And I'm excited to see him because, honestly, I mean, he was never like one of the superstar players, but he was always considered to be a good, solid player. So nice to see him returning back to league action, and nice to see Kick You Apart at full strength. Pooter just baits Blah into getting ball kill to oblivion there. And a loose puck floating around for quite a while. Kick You Apart comes away with it. And being able to get Meow Mix out of goalie and onto the field is going to have a huge impact on Kick You Apart's offensive presence as well. So, really fortunate turn of events for Kick You Apart. I got to think that I favor them a little bit more than shorthanded now.
It's pretty dangerous with how they're using 7-year itch, though. But actually, it seems like they're backing him up as well with his lag and all.
Short-handed, going to try to come up the ice. Missed pass for Botmim results in a turnover. And like you were originally saying, although you said if Kick You Apart shows a full team, we might go to overtime. Maybe even not showing a full team for most of the game, we might still be going to overtime.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
7-year itch by himself. Passes to Blah. And some nice movement here. 7-year itch to Blah. Checked off by Pooter. Pooter with 33 stills and 31 turnovers. And with a breakaway by African Panda, but didn't quite have anything to put in the net there. Didn't have a lot of angle. Curly pubes to Pooter 89. Pooter taps it over to Curly Pubes, who fires it off the wall. And Longdorf with a nice forecheck. And another good check by Pooter 89. Pooter and Longdorf really battling each other in the forecheck, it seems like, this game. Botmim tries a fancy play off the post, but Jug is keen to that. And Kick You Apart's going to cycle around a little bit here. Blah tries to drop pass. Didn't quite connect, but they're able to retain pucks, so nothing too negative there is going to happen. And Blah with the ball kill finds some space. Pooter checks him off.
Pooter has been the MVP for shorthanded so far in this game.
Yeah, he's done really well. His presence on the forecheck has been very impactful.
And then on the other end, I would
Meow makes
obviously
with the breakaway, tries to fade.
Launder. Yeah.
And not much there because the puck just didn't have a lot of shot power on it. But Blah with a nice check. And he's going to try to make something happen. Drop past the Londorf. Not able to get a shot off. Botman tries to thread it through, but 7-year itch proxies it. Good defensive positioning there. Blah avoids the check from Mirtrick. And Londorf going to try to get it through to Meowmix, probably. Unable to do so. And Curly Pubes to Pooter. Pooter slams it off the wall. Botmem tries to make something happen, but checked out by Londorf. Seems like Londorf and Pooter just going back and forth, checking the opposing team's puck carrier. Nice pass by Meowmix in open space to make sure he didn't lose the puck there. One thing that I really like about Kick You Apart is they have very intelligent players. And Blah to Londorf. Meowmix picks up the puck here. There was a little bit of lag on the play, so they just decided to reset it. Meowmix with some open space up to Blah.
Oh, nice defense there.
Good defense by Pooter, because if Blah had that puck, you got to think he was probably going to be able to bury that in the top shelf. Londorf misses the check, but Curly Pubes panics and passes him the puck. And Kick You Apart continues their possession, and they've had the puck for a good couple minutes now. Shot still in favor of shorthanded 9-4, but the majority of the puck control has been with Kick You Apart, at least for the last couple of minutes. Looks like getting that 6-man is really helping out for them. And another check by Londorf. Turns it over to Sting, and now the puck will come the other way. Pooter passing to Bop in the neutral zone. Threads it through to Mirtrix. And checked out by Londorf again. Londorf and Pooter really going back and forth here. And Blah avoids a couple of checks. Meowmix with a shot bottom, wide of the net. Kick You Apart is able to retain possession though. And a nice back check by Curly Pubes. Botman banks it off the wall, but does not connect with his team. And Blah with a ball kill on Botman, but Botman tanks that, it looks like. There is no dud message. And Botman tries to ball kill 7-year itch, who basically makes a fool of him. African Panda, aka Curly Pubes, cycling to Pooter 89. And a ball kill from Pooter. But Kick You Apart's defensive collapse is pretty strong here so far in this period. And shorthanded, really not able to get a lot going, at least on the net, in the latter half of this third period. Shorthanded cycling right now. And a nice pass by Curly Pubes, but once again, the defensive collapse by Kick You Apart, pretty strong.
This game's headed to OT.
Still got 4 minutes left, so you never know. But it certainly is not looking like the game is going to be broke open anytime soon. Some open space here, though, from shorthanded. Pooter has it on the crease. Tried to get it to Bop, but was unsuccessful there. And now Kick You Apart will come the other way. Londorf to Meowmix. Nice pass to Blah. And Londorf off the post. I don't think he had the angle to get into the net there. Almost got really sneaky goal on the near post. Crystalline probably would have been crying if that went in. So would the rest of her team. And a good check by Blah. But he gets checked back by Sting. And African Panda, aka Curly Pubes, trying to find some space to do something. And he'll just cycle it back to Pooter. But now you've got that defensive wall back in front of Jug again. Once again, Pop Mem tries to ball kill 7-Year Itch, trying to get some vengeance maybe, but 7-Year Itch has his number on those ball kill timings, it looks like. Maybe it's extra support from his team, but I gotta say, even though this is the 7-Year Itch's first league game in quite a while, if I'm not mistaken, probably a few seasons, he's looking pretty solid defensively. Bot Mem threads it to Meretrix, but turned over to Bicycle Skeleton, who isolates himself in the corner, but is able to come away with the puck still. And now Blah with the puck passes to Bicycle Skeleton. Kind of trapped in the corner there, so he will just get it back, actually. And now Londorf takes a shot, bottom post. Saved by Crystalline and lagged through the defender as well. About a minute and a half left in this game. Regulation, at least. And we will head to overtime, which, of course, in the RSHL is 5 against 5. So a player from each side will be spectated for the overtime period. And if the game is still tied after that, we will end it at a draw. And Meowmix with the shot. Not quite able to make anything happen there. Didn't have much of an angle. Nice check by Cookie Wolf. And we'll see if Kick You Apart can do anything with this open space. Not able to do anything with the Spider's low shot power, and that pass will end up in Meretrix's hands. Botmem passes to 7-Year Itch again, trying to make something happen. So good defensive play from him this period. And Blah with some open space, trying the drop pass again. Now, those can really work to your advantage sometimes, but I think Blah is maybe trying to force those a little bit too much. Cooter passing back to Longdorf, who tries for the ball kill, isn't able to get it. Shorthanded will retain possession for now. And checked off by the 7-Year Itch. He's going to hold on to the puck and cycle it around. And Kick You Apart, holding it near the line. Longdorf does not connect with Cookie Wolf, and Blah just dumps it back to end the period, and we are in overtime.
17 checks that period for Londorf. Pretty impressive.
And honestly, the opposite of the second period, because in this period, Kick You Apart had about a minute more of puck possession. So that 6 players really, now that we're at even strength, it looks like Kick You Apart might have an advantage, but I'm not sure if another goal is going to be scored in this game, to be honest. If another goal is going to be scored, I'm probably going to favor Kick You Apart in this overtime period. They just have a lot more offensive tools, I think, than shorthanded, and with the additional open space, I think I would probably favor them in this overtime.
Yeah, they have a better goalie as well, I think. But as for shorthanded, I would go with the same lineup minus Meretrix and Kick You Apart. Not too sure.
Well, I know that Kick You Apart is no stranger to overtime this season. They had a tie against Baby Seal Killers, and they had a overtime victory against Direwolves, where Meowmix, Bicycle Skeleton, scored the game winner on a nice slap shot. So maybe he'll be looking to replicate that success in this overtime. That is the prediction by couple of anonymous players in the arena. Let's see if that comes true. What do you think, King? Who do you think will score the game-winning goal?
Well, I was gonna say my man Curly Pubes was gonna score the game-winning goal, but they took him out. So, and I don't like what they did there with bringing in Flu.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really wish that they would have left Curly Pubes in there for Flu because, well, Curly Pubes is just a better option. And wait a second, looks like Curly Pubes going to come in and net for the overtime period, and this I actually do like because you definitely want the best goaltender possible in the game for overtime. If you're not going to play him in the regular periods, at least make sure you're going to have a solid back end in overtime.
But let's not forget that this is his first time in the game netting, so he might be a little, he's not really warmed up or anything. And Crystalline has been doing a good job this game, so I don't know. I don't know if I like that move.
I do. I think he's much more solid skill-wise, but we'll see. And some open space right away.
But yeah, it's going to be pretty unpredictable here.
The thing is, even players aside, I think that Curly Pubes is a little better than Flu, but players aside, just being able to have that warbird and the extra open space that overtime provides is nice.
Yeah, plus he's better on defense than Flu, so you gain that as well.
Londorf with some slick moves, finding some open space. And a turnover to Pooter. Pooter might have a chance to take a shot here. Tries to pass to Botman, but turns it over to Blah. Londorf banks it to Meowmix. And some cycling by Kikyo Part here. Kikyo Part moving up towards the opposing blue line, but they're not able to make anything happen. Bop will get the steal, but dump it up the ice. Flu's gonna slow the pace of this overtime period down a little bit. Looks like they're gonna be cautious and try to pick their moment. But Blah with a lunge against Spotman, able to get the puck back for his team. Now Londorf back to Blah, back to Londorf. Nice puck movement so far in this period for Kikyo Park. And some open space, Londorf to Meowmix.
Good netting.
Yeah, Curly Pubes read that play all the way, was in really good position. And honestly, I wasn't quite sure he would be in that good of a position. So good read from him. Flues tries to slap shot it away, but ends up going right to Blah. And Kiki apart with some open space now.
Good netting again. Good save.
Yeah, I really like this decision to put Curly Pubes in net. At least if you're not going to play him on offense, get him in the game. And he's had some really solid netting so far. Kiki apart cycling around. They really seem to have the advantage so far in this overtime period. Blah tries an errant ball kill, ends up turning it over. Flu passing to Pooter. Cookie Wolf finding some space. Forces the turnover there. Meowmix and Londorf passing back and forth to each other. And Londorf with the puck. Kick you apart, continuing to cycle. Really seems like they've had a lot more puck possession than shorthanded in the overtime period so far. At least that's what it feels like. And Meowmix with the shot, saved by Curly Pubes. You still with us, King?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What do you think so far of this overtime period?
I'm thinking that. Hold on, Curly said something to me here. Curly wanted me to tell you guys that the offense didn't look too good without him. Basically saying that he should be in the game. No, I'm just playing. Okay. But yeah, I think that you were right in saying that it was a good move in putting Curly in that, because I don't know if Chris would have been able to save some of those shots, even though she is having a pretty good game, but still, you know. And I'm thinking Kick Your Part is going to still manage to get a goal in there, and I'm thinking they're going to win this game.
Well, there's about 6.5 minutes for them to do it. They have almost even up the shot total. It was 9 shots to 4, now 9 shots to 8. But Botman with the ball kill off the post.
Wow.
And shorthanded has been down in puck possession in this overtime period, but Botman definitely showing that can still end the match at any moment with just one opportunity. Pooter with the ball kill, but Longworth with some nice defensive backup there. Looks like Longworth gonna play it safe, give it to Meowmix. Meowmix tries a quick shot. African Panda, Curly Pubes is in position there. Sting cycles it back to Pooter. And back to Sting. And this is going to be a breakaway for Longworth. See what he does here.
Good save.
Yeah, decent goaltending there. It's definitely hard to score on breakaways, honestly. They usually favor the goalie. And some of those shots that Londorf took, he had the other breakaway on Crystalline where he took the fade. I don't think some of those shots and opportunities are going to be quite as likely to work on Curly Pubes as they will on Crystalline. Kick you apart, being patient, picking their moment. Pooter with the forecheck again. And Pooter with another steal. Done a great job this match. And another steal. And Flew gets a shot, shoots it directly at the goalie. Probably should have held on to the puck a little longer there. Longworth with the ball kill. Some open space to Bicycle Skeleton. Ends up with the puck in front of the net, but Curly Pubes was just in perfect position to deter him from even wanting to take a shot. Jug will pass it behind his own net. Flew will pick it up just in time to get crushed by Cookie Wolf. And now Kick You Apart will come up the ice again. That pass phase.
I think we're going to see a goal by Londorf in exactly a minute and 30 seconds.
All right, we'll be looking at it a minute and 30 seconds. It would be 2:02 would be the mark for that from when you said that, so we'll be looking. Botman finds some space, and that's a goal. It's really slick movement around the bottom. Shoots top post and caught Jug sleeping a little bit.
Well, there goes that.
Well, I gotta say, your prediction could not have been more wrong.
Oh, that was a nice
And
goal.
yeah, and basically, like I was saying before, kick you apart, having a pretty decent advantage in that overtime period. And it doesn't really matter, though, how much of the game you're controlling. One opportunity can end it in sudden death overtime. And Botman just finds some space, takes a shot on the top post, and Jug is not prepared. But you gotta say, a really, really good game, though. This is a huge win for shorthanded because this is going to pretty much solidify their place in the league, I think, as being ahead of the 8th through 11th group, and definitely says that they're probably going to be contenders for a playoff spot, if not pretty much solidly secured in that area. And kick you apart, honestly, though, played pretty well. They were down a man for 2 periods. They had some lag issues, and honestly, for the third period and the overtime period, I would say had an advantage in a lot of ways. But Botman just able to take advantage of a little bit of space and kind of heroed that game for shorthanded.
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed by shorthanded. I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs with the way they're playing now, and especially adding African Panda as well. They're doing a great job.
Well, he had some really good saves in that overtime period, and not just some saves, but just some really sound positioning off
Right.
the shots as well. And honestly, I think that that period might have gone a little differently for them if he was not playing in net. So I'm kind of critical of the shorthanded leadership sometimes because I'm not sure they make the best decisions possible. But that decision to put Curly Pubes in net in the overtime period, I think, was definitely very impactful to the game and one of the reasons they ended up winning. He was able to stave off the kick you apart onslaught there in the overtime period, and it looked like they were kind of on their back foot. But all it takes is one opportunity to end the game, and Botman just needed a few feet of space, and a nicely placed shot wins the game for shorthanded.
Yep, definitely. I would say the big three of Pooter, Bop, and Curly Pubes were the reason why they won this game.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Some solid goaltending in overtime and taking advantage of the opportunities enables shorthanded to take away the victory. For those of you who missed it earlier tonight, Execution won their matchup by a pretty hefty margin over Red Dragons. So Execution and shorthanded victorious tonight. We do have a lot more games coming up throughout this week, so be sure to watch us tomorrow and all of the other weekdays this week, with the exception of Friday, and we will have plenty of league action for you. Thank you, King, for helping out. So for King, this is Thrill. You guys have a good night, and join us tomorrow for more RSHL action.
Peace out, bros.